In this lesson, we are going to cover the design features of housing and interiors. This is still under the topic of housing and interiors, and today we are looking at design features of housing and interiors. And under this chapter, we have two units. The first unit, which is ergonomics in design, and the second unit, which is the universal design. So we are going to start with ergonomics in design. Okay, so let's go to the next page, which is 211. So I will not go to activity 1. I will go straight to the first paragraph in that page. Okay, can you see that first paragraph? Yes, now it's nice and clear. They say, one important consideration in evaluation of interior environments and in the selection of furniture, equipment, and appliances is how well it suits the user's needs and characteristics. How well it suits the user's needs and characteristics. Is it the right size, height for me? Is it the right size or height for me? Is it comfortable for my body? Does it fit my hand comfortably? Is it easy to use? Is it easy for me to use? Can I use it safely? These and other questions are the essence of field known as ergonomics and universal design. This is what we're going to cover. This chapter tells you how the science of ergonomics is used to make home and work environments and the furniture and products in them more comfortable so that people can work more efficiently and effectively. It also tells you about the universal design. Universal design is a new approach to the design of housing and interiors that simplifies life for everyone by making housing, interiors, and product usable by more people at little or no extra cost. Universal design incorporates economic principles in the design of living environment. Okay, so we know what we're going to cover in the economics and in universal design, but we are just starting with economics. So we go straight to page 212 at the top there, and we start our unit number 1 in economics. Okay, so these are the questions that you need to ask yourself as we start the unit. What is economics and why is it important? And what are the basics of economic design, and how is economics applied in home furniture and workplace? So put this in your mind as we go through the unit. Now we're going to start by defining economics in details now. Economics is the science that studies the relationship between people and their working environment and seeks to improve working environments. Economics focus on the worker, the work being done, and the workplace. The word economics comes from two Greek words. Number one, which is egon, meaning work, and nomos, meaning loss. So is work loss. Economics is essentially about fitting work to people. Economics focus on designing or arranging workspaces, furniture, tools, and job tasks so that they fit the people who use them and so that safety and efficiency is ensured. Economics is often described as the science of everyday life because it uses knowledge of human performance, abilities, and limits with design and engineering to create systems. Products and services that are safe. Okay, let's start from the scratch. Economics is often described as the science of everyday life because it uses the knowledge of human performance. It also uses abilities and limits with design and engineering to create products and services that are safe, efficient, and enjoyable to use. Ergonomics use information about people's size and shape as their strength, their skill, speed, and movement, as well as about what people see, hear, feel, and how people think, to design everyday and extra ordinary objects. Let's scroll up a bit. We are here. Ergonomics form a basis of design from the potato peeler and the TV remote control to the lounge suit to the computer and dishwasher. Ergonomics is also the study of how we use products in spaces while performing certain tasks to save time. As you learned in chapter 12, the interior of the house is designed around functions or activities. The same applies to most buildings. The economist takes into account the type of activity of a particular space and the average dimensions of people who will use that space. The type of activity that will happen in that space influences the type of furniture to be used there. For example, in social space, you probably want comfortable chairs. In space for preparing food, you want hygienic surfaces on which to cut. Ergonomic design recognizes that interior environments affect human behavior significantly. Now, let's look at why is ergonomics important. Research has shown that poor posture and restricted movement create circulation and energy problems. Furniture that can be adjusted to suit people's different body sizes and daily requirements will allow them to do different tasks more comfortably. Ergonomic data forms the basic of furniture design for different functions. Repetitive and forceful movements and awkward postures from badly designed workplaces, tools, and equipment can harm people's bodies. Long hours at computer, for example, can lead to aches and pains in your neck, shoulders, arms, and hands. These aches are your body's way of indicating postures problems. So let's see the postures here. You see these people are standing in different ways. The posture, this body is upright and straight. This one look bent a little bit. This one still bent. And this one still not looking good. Okay. And you also look at these people. So you see this chair can only sit one type of a person. So the ergonomic study was not done so that the chair that is used can be comfortable for everyone in terms of the posture. Good and bad posture for standing and sitting. So you see that. Okay, so let's go to the next page, 213. Ignoring these warnings can lead to painful and disabling long-term injuries. Applying economics in the design of interior environments along with proper work methods can prevent long-term injuries. Effective, effective economic design coupled with good posture can reduce injuries and increase job satisfaction and productivity. Now let's look at the basics of economics. Economics is about the worker, the work to be done, and the workplace. It involves knowing how the following affect the user. Okay, this is important. You need to know how the following affect the user. Human dimensions, repetitive motion, posture, and workplace. Then we're going to look at them one by one. How does human dimension affect the user? How does posture affect the user? How does repetitive motion affect the user? And how does the workplace design affect the user? Okay, let's start with the keyword before we continue. The keyword here is anthropometrics, which is the data that the researchers derive from anthropometry, which is the study of human body measurements to assist in understanding human physical variation. Anthropometrics is the data that researchers derive from anthropometry. And anthropometry is the study of human body measurements to assist in understanding human physical variations. So let's look at how human dimensions affect, how human dimensions affect the user. People are unique. People are all unique. Human dimensions and proportions are not consistent. These measurements and proportions vary according to race, gender, age, diet, lifestyle, and career path. Some races are tall, such as the Maasai of Kenya. Others have small skeletal frames, such as Khoisan people. Males are, in general, physically much larger and stronger than most females. Females have different physical proportions. A thorough understanding of a wide range of people's physical characteristics is essential for the study of ergonomics. When analyzing design and how it relates to human performance, ergonomists study anthropometric data. We have already defined what is anthropometry. This data, the anthropometry, this data in this is data that includes size measurements of a wide range of populations defined along such lines as gender and age. It is the range of joint movements, strengths, and grips for various populations are also reviews. This data gives valuable information to designers and help to ensure that products will physically fit the targeted end user. Despite the differences in humans, ergonomics is based on average human dimensions and aims at satisfying the population on average. Okay, so they say figure 13.2 shows the average human dimensions that designers use to design interior environments and furniture. So we can see the dimensions that they take here between your shoulders, and they take the dimension your waist, and they take the height between the shoulders and the waist and the height, and also the distance when both hands are open. Those four dimensions they are used to design interior environments and features. So now the dimensions of the average person are as follows. An average person, the height is between 1.5 meter to 1.9 meter. The eye level is 1.4 meter to 1.75 meter. And the shoulder height is between 1.2 meter to 1.55 meter. Okay. And we look at body mechanics. We are still under human dimensions. Let me minimize this so that we can be able to see everything. Okay. Body mechanics is the use of correct muscles to complete a task safely and efficiently without unnecessary strain on any muscle or joint. It is about how you move your body. For example, people with back pain often have difficulty performing work, routine self-care activities, housework, and garden. If you have a back pain, normally it's difficult for you to do all this work. Often this is caused by incorrect posture or body mechanics. So let's talk about posture now. Posture is an important component of body mechanics. The body consists of three major parts, which is the head, trunk, and pelvis. Head, trunk, and pelvis. Okay. The three parts should be kept in alignment to secure the center of gravity and prevent unnecessary stress on the spine. When you sit, stand, walk, or climb the stairs, these body parts should be in natural balance. If one part is out of alignment, fatigue results. If the body parts stay out of alignment for sustained period, the strain on the ligaments and tendons may cause permanent damage. Work surfaces must be correct height to ensure that body weights are correctly aligned. If surfaces are too low, the worker bends down to the surface, taking the head out of alignment. If the body is correctly aligned, gravity helps to maintain the body posture. Now, let's look at the guidelines for good posture. The following are the guidelines for good posture. Lengthen your lower back to avoid aching. Engage your abdominal muscle. Keep your head up. Keep your chin in. Keep your weight slightly forward and supported evenly across the heels and balls of the feet. Those are the guidelines for good posture. And we see the picture here of correct body alignment. So you see from your ankle, your knee, your hip, and your this part of the neck, everything is in straight line. Okay, so that is the a representation of the correct body alignment. Okay, so we're still under the guidelines for good posture. They say good posture generally means the spine is in neutral position. The spinal column is shaped like a stretched out as you can see in this figure. And the normal curves of the spine are natural. Okay, these curves are natural. Your spine is a complex arrangement of bones, joints, muscles, ligaments, disc, a spinal cord, and nerves. In a healthy spine, the vertebrae, facet joints, and disc are vertically stacked, held together by the system of ligaments that help support the alignment while allowing movement within a safe range. The disc absorbs shock from the changing weight loads applied to the spine from the activities such as walking, running, and lifting. The spine has four natural curves, also help to distribute these loads evenly while providing structural support and stability. Ergonomics consider common postures such as standing, sitting, reaching, and moving when designing workplace products or space. So let's look at the diagram below. So this diagram shows the correct posture. Like if you bend for the workplace, you see that's incorrect posture. But here you can easily reach the work space. So let's go down. Posture and work heights. We just saw the figure there. Proper work height allows you to maintain a good posture, which reduces stress and strain on muscles, ligaments, and disc. This in turn decreases fatigue and pain. And then we look at the guidelines for standing work heights at the bottom. Okay, let us just do this. So we start with the first bullet for the guidelines for standing work height. The work surface height for standing work can range from 70 to 110 centimeter, depending on whether the work surface is for precision, light, or heavy work. Heavy work is done at a lower level than light work. Precision work is done at higher level. A counter work surface should be at a counter work surface should be at or near hip level. Maintain shoulders over hips, hips over knees, back straight, shoulders back, and head up. For prolonged standing, place one foot on a small footstool to relax the back. Modify an incorrect work height by raising or lowering the work surface or the level you are standing on. If it is not possible to change the work surface height, change your position and take frequent breaks. And then we have guidelines for sitting. Work heights are as follows. So let me take this up a little bit. This is for sitting work heights. The one at the top, it was for standing work heights. The best way to reduce pressure in the back is to stand. However, some tasks need to be done while seated. Sitting transfers most of the body weight to the seat. Some weight is also transferred to the floor and to the chair's back rest and armrest. The key to a good seat design is how it transferred this weight. A chair that does not support your body correctly can put unwanted pressure on your back, causing pain. Sitting is the most stressful position for spine health. Work at elbow level with your arms at your sides, resting on armrest whenever possible. Keep your head up, keep your shoulders over your hips and remain relaxed while preventing your shoulders from rounding forwards. The chair should completely support your back. Your spine should be naturally curved. Your feet should be flat on the floor with your knees level with your hips. If the chair is too high and cannot be adjusted, place a footrest under your feet. If the chair is too low, add cushions to the seat. A good seated posture is comfortable, does not put a lot of stress or strain on the user's buttocks, back, or arm muscles, and allows the user's feet to be on the floor. Another key reducing lumbar disc pressure is the use of armrest. They help by transferring some of your body weight from your spine. Armrests need to be height adjustable to avoid overstressing the shoulders. And let's look at common movements. Joints have a natural range of motion, okay, which is ROM. Range of motion is ROM. Joints have a natural range of motion. When your body moves within the proper ROM, range of motion, blood circulation and flexibility are improved. This leads to greater comfort and higher productivity. Despite the benefit of motion, try to avoid repetitive movements and extremes in ROM over sustained periods. By considering both ROM and repetitive motion, you can plan and design your living space and buy products you can use within the optimal range to help reduce fatigue and muscle disorders. Okay. And we have this figure here. They say good and bad movement zones in the good and bad movement zones in the body's ROM, range of motion. Okay. Now let's look at the bottom part. Good body mechanics and posture when carrying, pushing, pulling, and reaching up for objects can prevent injury. Storing frequently, use suppliers within easy reach between shoulder and knee height can also reduce injury. Okay, so this is too big now. I need to minimize it. Good. And we can take it up. Picking up objects that are at ground level can be strenuous. Lifting from a half kneeling position can decrease stress on the back by helping you to maintain a neutral spine during the lift. Remember, use the stronger leg muscle for lifting. Bend at the knees and hips, which means you squat. Keep your back straight. Avoid stooping, which is bending at the waist. And lift straight upwards in one smooth motion. Use your leg muscles to return to an upright position. Use transportation devices such as trolleys, wheelbarrows, carts, or wagons when you move heavy objects. Let's look at reaching now. When working in sitting or standing position, you often need to reach for things. Your work area should allow you to make most of your body movements within healthy zones. When you plan your work area, consider how much you will have to reach to reduce awkward and unhealthy position. Follow these guidelines for reaching. Stand directly in front and close to the object. Avoid twisting or stretching, and use a stool or ladder for high objects. Maintain a good balance and a firm base of support. And before moving the object, be sure that it is not too large or too heavy. The reaching zones of an average person are as follows. Maximum reach up is between 1.85 to 2.1 meter. Slanted reach up is between 1.65 meter to 2 meter. And forward reach is between 1.3 meters to 1.45 meters. Okay, so these are the different reaching zones. Now, how do we apply ergonomics in interior environments? Now it's not to do with the human measurements, now it's interior environments. The environments in which you live and work influence your behavior. Aspects of interior design such as space and furnishings and environmental variables such as temperature, sound, humidity, and ventilation all influence the ease and safety with which you perform different activities. These factors also affect your enjoyment of the things you do. Architects and interior designers use basic economic data and principles to plan home and work interior environments. Figure 13.9. Where is figure 13.9? Let's do this. Okay. Figure 13.9 below shows some of the basic measurements used in interior planning. Let me zoom this. We will see the figure just now. You don't need to memorize these dimensions. Just be aware of the dimensions differences you should consider when you plan and furniture interior spaces to meet different human needs. Designers use standard economic data and formulas to calculate door head heights, door widths, positioning of door handles and key locks, minimum ceiling heights, minimum room dimensions, and percentage of natural light entering the space. These standard formulas are used to build economical houses. So we see the figure for the basic measurements used in interior planning. And they say, look around your classroom. You can see that the door width and height must allow easy and free movement into and out of the room. Light fittings are clear of the height of tall people. Tables are designed to create comfortable work surfaces for seated people, and the chalkboard is hung at the suitable height so that the teacher of average height can write comfortably on it. And let's look at ergonomics in furniture design. Furniture is designed to support the main activities that people perform around the home. Ergonomics can help you select appropriate furniture for safe and comfortable interiors. Ergonomics can also help you to adapt your existing furniture to improve its comfort and usefulness. If a room is small, buy furniture that is proportional to that space. Similar, if the occupants of the home are large frame people, the furnishing must be steady and bulky to support their frames. Young children have smaller frames and need smaller furnishings for their comfort and safety. For example, cots are usually small and have rails to prevent infants from falling out of them. Furniture designers and manufacturers use average human sizes, heights, and proportions to create comfortable furnishings for the average population. For example, tables and desks are all manufactured at similar heights from the floor. This measurement is approximately 730 millimeters. Now we look at ergonomics in the workplace. You should sit upright at a desk when you work. Your desk and chair should support your posture and not encourage to worsen. Well-designed chairs have firm seats and good back support. Today, many people do a lot of their work at computers, and Table 13.1 shows you some guidelines for sitting at a computer. So let's look at the Table 13.1 if somebody is sitting at the computer. The ergonomics element number 1 is your chair. You must push your hips as far back as they can go in the chair. So you see you are too back. Adjust the seat height so that your feet are flat on the floor and your knees are at the same height or slightly lower than your hips. Use a footrest if your feet dangle. Adjust the back of the chair to 100 to 110 reclined angle. Make sure your upper and lower back are supported. Use inflatable cushions or small pillows if necessary. Adjust the armrest if fitted. This one doesn't have the armrest, so that your shoulders are relaxed. If your armrests are in the way, remove them. Now let's look at the keyboard. Pull up close to your keyboard. Position the keyboard directly in front of your body. Adjust the keyboard height so that your shoulders are relaxed. Your elbows are in slightly open position and your wrists and hands are straight. The tilt of your keyboard depends on your sitting position. Use the keyboard tray mechanism or keyboard feet to adjust the tilt. This is the tilt. A slightly positive tilt will help maintain a straight wrist position. Okay. Wrist rest can help to rest the palms of the hands between keystrokes. Place the mouse as close as possible to the keyboard. And we look at the screen and document now. Adjust the screen and source document so that your neck is in neutral, relaxed position. Center the screen directly in front of you above your keyboard. Position the top of the screen approximately 4 to 6 centimeters above the seated eye level. Sit at least an arm's length away from the screen and adjust the distance for your vision. Reduce glare by carefully positioning of the screen. Place a screen at right angles to windows. Use a well-positioned desk light and position source documents directly in front of you between the screen and the keyboard. If there is insufficient space, place the source document on the document holder next to the screen. And pauses and breaks while you are on your computer. Use good work habits no matter how perfect the environment. Prolonged static posture will inhibit blood circulation and take a toll on your body. Take short stretch breaks for 1 or 2 minutes every 20 to 30 minutes. Avoid eye fatigue by looking away from the monitor and focusing on something in the distance frequently. Use correct posture when working and keep moving as much as possible. And we look at, I need to go back a bit. Some economics guidelines for preparing food are as follows. In a kitchen, the sinks are placed at the counter height, which is about 90 centimeter. This allows comfortable height for washing. If the sinks are lower, stooping with discomfort and back pain for the average person would result. A counter is higher than a table surface because the activities that takes place at the counter involve standing. A recessed, a plinth, or support at the foot of the counters allow people to stand close to the counter without the need to stoop, which cause back strain and discomfort. In some houses, there are no work counters. This means that work, food preparation, and eating must be done at the table. These tasks are performed from a seated position. Use suitable chairs with firm seats, back support, and no armrest for this. Armrest can restrict arm movement. In addition to ideal height and size, economics used to determine suitable materials and finishes and the dimensions of finishing of fixtures. For example, suitable materials and finishes for kitchen would be easy washable walls and floor surfaces that are not slippery when they are wet. Some economics guidelines for relaxing, socializing, and sleeping include the following. Relaxing in the form of reading, socializing, or watching TV requires economically designed couches, recliners, and chairs. Couches usually don't support the spine. Watching television is best done from an upright chair with arm supports and comfortable cushions. A standard mattress should be the same height as a chair because when you lower yourself into a bed, it is the same as lowering yourself into a chair. We spend about one third of our lives in bed. Sleeping on the surface that does not support the natural configuration of the spine causes lower back pain. This leads to tossing and turning throughout the night while trying to find a comfortable position. The result is poor quality sleep and loss of energy and concentration during waking hours. Ideally, you should have a mattress that provides a proper support. If you have a bed that is sagging in places, you can provide support by placing folded newspapers or fabric under the part that is sagging. So we see the typical example of mattress height. And using economics to save time, how do we do that? Economics is about making things more efficient. By increasing the efficiency of a tool or task, you shorten the time it takes to accomplish it. Through good economic practices, you can save time in three main areas: in streamlining the task, in using economic tools and equipment, and in simplifying the task. Now we look at each area. We start with streamlining the task. To streamline a task, first understand the task by analyzing it. Do this by writing down all the steps you need to take to complete the task. Then look at each step and identify areas that you can streamline. For example, look for repetition. Are all the repeated steps necessary? See if you can reorder the steps to make the process more efficient. See if you can combine the steps or aspects of steps for better results. Make sure that every step adds value to the process. If it doesn't, cut it. Make sure the effort you put into each step is necessary. For example, you do really need to wipe the counter with 10 strokes, or will 5 do? The second area is simplifying the task. You can also save the time by simplifying the task. While streamlining the task, it involves reducing the number of steps in a task. Simplifying involves making the steps easier to perform. The less skill that is required for the task, the quicker you can perform it. Instead of several storage areas, for example, store things together for quick access. For example, if you are busy with a patchwork quilt, you can store patchwork fabrics, batting, lining, scissors, pins, measuring tape, templates, sewing thread, and so on together in a work basket. This will save you time every time you want to work on your quilt. Using good economic tools and equipment. Economic tools save you time by streamlining tasks, simplifying tasks, and improving your body mechanics. A good tool acts as an extension of your body, improving its natural ability. You will learn more about economically and universally designed tools and equipment in unit number 2. This brings us to the end of unit 1.